Good day. Today we'll make some homemade hamburger buns and we'll cook them on the barbecue. They're pretty simple to make, and they take a little bit to make because you gotta let it rise for a bit. And to make this, to start making this, the first thing we gotta do is proof our yeast. To do this, the first thing we'll need is 2.5 teaspoons of yeast. We'll take our 2.5 teaspoons of yeast, put it inside our mixing bowl. You'll also need a half a cup of flour, and all you do is pour the half a cup of flour inside your mixing bowl as well. And the other thing that you'll need is a cup of hot water, and the hot water you want it around 110 degrees Fahrenheit. The reason you wanted that because you want the bacteria to live and for the yeast to rise and to activate it. Okay, once you have all of this inside the mixing bowl, what you want to do is take your whisk and start whisking it together to mix it very well. And just keep whisking it to mix it very well. Make sure the flour is well dissolved with your yeast and the warm water. Now you want to let this sit for approximately 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, now we're going to test our yeast, see if it's ready. And the easy way of doing that is take your whisk again and you go through it, and you can see now it's nice and creamy. When it's nice and creamy like this, you know your yeast is nice and active. So now it's pretty much ready. So now what we're going to start doing now is going to add some of the other ingredients that we need. We'll start with the 3 tablespoons of sugar, 1 egg, 3 tablespoons of molten butter, 1 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now what we want to do, we're going to start whisking all of this stuff together. You want to whisk it very well. As you can see, it's mixing extremely well. Once it's all whisked together, you want to add your dough hook. And for the next step, you'll need approximately 3 cups of flour. Now I'm going to start adding my flour. I won't put it all at once. I'm going to start with a little bit at once. Now you want to lock your mixer in place and turn it on. And slowly mix it together. As you can see, the dough is starting to form. Definitely need a little bit more flour. Keep adding it as you need. Okay, now we've been mixing our dough for approximately a good 5 to 6 minutes. Now we'll check to see if the dough is ready. I'm going to turn off the mixer. I'm going to lift the dough head, and I'm going to take my spatula and poke inside the dough. And as you can see, it's not sticking to the spatula, so the dough ball is pretty much ready. So now what you want to do is take it off the dough hook, just slide her off. And I'll knead it in a nice little ball. And you want to tuck it all nice and get a nice little ball. Doesn't have to be neat. Now what you want to do is coat the inside of this bowl here with a little bit of cooking oil. And for this, I'll use some Pam spray. It's a lot easier, but you can use olive oil, which is a better way to go, but this is a lot quicker. Okay, now I'm going to put the dough ball inside the bowl, and what you want to do is just roll it around a couple times, like so. Now you want to place it in the bottom. Now we'll let it rise for 2 hours, and all we're going to do is put a nice cover of foil inside this and put it in a nice warm place and let it rise for 2 hours. Okay, now that our hamburger buns has risen for about 2 hours, it's now time to take the foil off and punch the dough down. As you can see, it doubled in size. Now all I have to do is just punch the dough down, and pretty much just grab your dough to your hand. And now what I want to do is form a square on a nicely floured workbench. Okay, now I'm going to form this into a 5 by 10 roughly in size, and you want it to about a ½ inch thick. Try to make a nice little square. Doesn't have to be perfect. Now that you have this approximately 5 by 10, you're going to take your dough cutter and you're going to cut it into 8 equal pieces. So I start cut it in half like this here, and cut like so again. Cut across. Doesn't have to be perfect. Now it's cut. Now you grab one piece of the dough. Now you're going to form it into a nice little round shape. Which is going to form your buns. Now I'm going to put it on here, just shape it. Once you have it shaped like so, like a nice low, and then you come to your pizza stone, which I coated with a nice piece of parchment paper on top. Now what you want to do is put your hamburger bun on here. Okay, now that you have your buns all shaped on the top of the pizza stone and the parchment paper, what you want to do is drape the top of the buns with the piece of saran wrap. You don't want to put any pressure on it, so you don't want to seal it. Just drape it on top. That's all you want, like so. And now, that way the buns could rise, and you want to let it rise approximately ½ hour to 45 minutes. Well, it's now time to preheat the barbecue to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. And today I'll be using a Kamada Joe ceramic cooker for cooking my hamburger buns. This cooker is extremely useful, and it's one of my favorite cookers. As you can see right now, I got the fire inside going. I just lit it up about a minute or two ago, so it'll take about another 10 minutes to heat up to temperature. But meanwhile that our buns are rising, she'll warm up to the proper temperature. Okay, now we're going to make our egg wash. For our egg wash, it's 1 egg, 1 tablespoon of milk. Already added the milk to the bowl. All you do is take a fork and just beat it together, make your egg wash. It's pretty simple to make. Just mix it very well. Now that it's well mixed, I'm going to start. Now our drape that we have on our buns, you can now remove it. And now we'll take our brush, but very carefully put a layer of egg wash on top. You want to be very gentle so you don't collapse your bread. Just keep doing this for every bun. You now want to place your bread on the Kamada Joe on the pizza stone, and you want to cook them for approximately 15 to 20 minutes. And for this cook, I'll use my digital thermometer control, which controls a nice fan on my Kamada Joe barbecue, which will maintain a 375 degree stable temperature at all time, which makes it a lot easier and more efficient. As you can see right now, because I had the lid open, it's now rising the temperature. Check out these perfect buns. They're nice and golden now. They're pretty much ready. All you have to do now is bring it inside and put it on a cooling rack and let them cool, then just cut in half and you're ready to serve for your hamburgers. As you can see, they're perfectly nice and golden. Perfect buns.